graduating from Roosevelt High School in Boyle Heights, and receiving her BA degree in English Literature and Education from UCLA, and later received her MA degree in Education from Pepperdine University. She spent over 45 years in the public schools of Los Angeles, specializing in teaching English to immigrant children whose primary language was not English. She became an expert in this area of teaching English as a second language, and there are hundreds upon hundreds of immigrant children, mostly Orientals and Hispanics, who owe much to their acclamation to America and their acclamation to American life to Judy. She loved teaching, and she loved the children she taught. Judy had a great love for Israel and the Jewish people. She was attentive to every drop of new information on what is going on in Israel and in the Jewish world. She kept up to date on all aspects of the Jewish community of Los Angeles. She was a life member of Hadassah and Amit Women, and was president of an Amit chapter in the Valley. She, together with her husband Jonas, always supported many Jewish and Israeli organizations and causes. She made numerous trips to Israel, and her desire and her intention was to live in Israel, and she came on Aliyah in 1970. She rented an apartment in Jerusalem and had a position teaching English in Beit Shemesh. Chana and I, and all of Chana's parents, family, her parents, her sisters, her aunts and uncles, were so happy to have Judy with us in Israel. She became part of an extended family in Israel. When my brother passed away, Judy quickly returned to Los Angeles to be with our father Zal, and later married Jonas and remained in Los Angeles. Nothing was more important to Judy than family, and her love and her caring for each and every member. It was Judy that kept us all together. It was Judy that called all our sister when I married Chana and not a sister-in-law. She loved our daughters immensely, and our daughters, Shoshi, Tami, Nama, Bashira, saw in her a special aunt and ran to be the first to see her and be with her when she was in Israel. She had a special relationship with them and with our grandchildren. She was so happy that when the last half a year, 3 of our daughters, we are so happy, and she was happy. Then the last half year, 3 of our daughters and one of our granddaughters was able to visit her in Los Angeles, to see her and to be with her. They're all crying now in Jerusalem and throughout Israel since hearing the news of her passing away. Her last trip to Israel was exactly 4 years ago in Tammuz for the bar mitzvah of Avichai, our oldest grandson. She planned to come to Gabi's bat mitzvah in January and our granddaughter's Omer's bat mitzvah this spring, but had to cancel because of her illness. She loved Jonas with all her heart and with all her soul. They were married for 42 years. Even during the last days of her life, she was concerned with the welfare of Jonas. What will be of Jonas? Who will take care of Jonas? Judy, Judy, don't worry. Jonas will be taken care of. Judy was a person of great chesed. Together with Jonas, they took upon themselves the raising of 2 young boys, Michael and Seth, who became their sons. Their wives became their daughters, and their children, their grandchildren. What joy they brought into their life. Michael and Kira, who lived close to Judy and Jonas, were especially close to them all the time. Many Shabbatot, many holidays, many Chagim they spent together. They took care of Judy and they took care of Jonas. Thank you, Michael and Kira. Judy, my dear, wonderful sister, what does the Almighty want of us? What the Almighty want us to do in our lives? As we read in the Haftarah of this coming week's Shabbat's Parshat Balak, taken from Micha, the prophet Micha, who says, Hagei lecha adam atov u'ma Adonai doresh mincha, ki im asot mishpat va'avat chesed tatzmei lechet im Elohecha. Oh man, what is good? And what does Hashem seek from you? Only the performance of justice, the love of kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. Judy, my dear Judy, you only did kindness to others. You loved everyone. You cared about the underprivileged. You showed great mercy to those in need. And there was no one who was as humble as you. Judy, if I hurt you in any way, please forgive me. Judy, my lovely dear sister, Sharei Shamayim Ptuchim Lefanei. The gates of heaven are open for you. Go in peace. Go in shalom. Sit by Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel, Amitrias. Be with our beloved parents and brother. Be Amelit Yosher for all the family, for all your loved ones, for Israel and the Jewish people.
Call upon Michael Stein, as we said, who was really a son to Judy as she was his mother for many, many years.
Judy was my mother. Judy and Jonas adopted me when I was 10, just turning 11, the ages of our kids now. Coming from a very difficult situation, I was very lucky that she took me and my brother Seth into her home. She immediately made me feel safe and protected. She, along with Jonas, took me under her wings, guided me, and raised me to be who I am. And for this, I am grateful. When I visited Judy and Jonas, it was like I was going home, even today. I still keep some of my most important keepsakes at home. Why not? That is where my parents live, Judy and Jonas. It's only natural. How could I separate these things? Judy was always proud of everything I did. She instilled confidence in me, always made me feel that I was the best and the smartest and that I could do anything. Someone always on my side, no matter what. She accepted me for who I was. Judy all the time told me how proud of me, Kira, and the kids she was. Judy was just that way. She always looked out for others, always asking about this friend and that friend, birthdays and anniversaries, caring for those around her. She never wanted to impose, never asked for anything, never expected anything, never needed anything, but was always glad to be around us. What a wonderful person, an angel. Judy so welcomed Kira and her lovely family into our family. When I first brought Kira home, she was so wonderful to her. Always inviting, always inclusive, always happy to have us around. Our first introduction of Kira to the family was Sukkot at their home. Judy embraced Kira and her family ever since. Judy understood that Kira was my better half. Judy loved our kids. Judy and the kids have a special relationship. What is David doing? Where is Gabby going? How are they doing in school? How are their friends? Judy wanted to know every detail. She came to every celebration, every holiday she could. She knew the kids loved her and will always remember her. She was their grandmother, and I shared everything with her. Gabby and Davy have some very special memories of Grammy that I'm sure they might share. Judy loved Jonas. She dedicated her life to him, assisting him even when she could not help herself. She gave her last years to him. Judy gave her heart and soul. Judy loved Jonas, and Jonas loved Judy very much. When Judy was in the hospital for over a month, we took Jonas to see Judy there. When they saw each other for the first time in 6 weeks, they both lit up. It was wonderful to see. It was a special moment. Judy loved her family in Israel. Nothing made her happier than a visit from Reuben and Hannah or speaking with her nieces. Of course, Israel has a special place in Judy's heart, and my love for Israel is due to her love and teaching about Israel. Judy was a kind soul and a vibrant spirit. We loved hearing stories and just chatting. When I had long commutes from work, we would talk the whole way home, nearly 3 or 4 times per week. We talked about everything and anything, from what I was doing at work, to the kids, to baseball, to the weather. Anything and everything, and I will miss that. Judy, I will always remember what you did, what you and Jonas did for me and my brother, for raising us, for pushing me forward, but never too hard, for directing me, from teaching me right from wrong, from being dedicated to my family. We love you, and we will miss you more than you know, more than we all know. Today, we honor you for everything you have done for us. I know you are looking down with your wonderful smile. I will always remember the good times we had together, the Shabbat meals, the times in our sukkah, the long phone calls, the Purim and Hanukkah celebrations, the trips together, the times with Kira, Gabby, and David, the chatting about nothing, and all the good times that we had together. One of the last things Judy said to me was that, "I love you, Michael, and you're a good boy." I thanked her for everything she did, and I told her she did well, very well, and she agreed.
We'll hear now from the grandchildren, David and Gabby Stein.
To Grandma Judy, my grandma, I love you so much. We had so many fun memories together. I like when we did art projects and when you helped me with my homework. We spent so much fun times together. I remember all the Shabbat dinners we had. We sometimes played games or sometimes we just talked. Both ways we had a great time. I remember when you would babysit David and me when Mom and Dad had something boring to do. I remember all the game shows we watched together and the movies. Every time we forgot to bring a movie, we would just watch Free Willy over and over again. It was so special. I love how you kept the stuffed animal turtle I gave you for Mother's Day with you till the end. I will always have you in my heart.
final speaker, someone who also considered Judy to be his sister. I guess technically the relationship was stepsister, but in all honesty, they were really siblings. And Alan Levine was somebody who cared deeply for Judy, was very concerned about her health, especially during the past month or so when Alan and Alicia were in Eretz Yisrael for a visit. Always concerned that she should be cared for and visited. We're going to hear some words of eulogy from Alan Levine.
The watchwords, the characteristics of Judy that we know so well, and Jonas. Our love and caring and support. Of her children, Michael and Seth, and their sister Eve, and their children, of her brother Reuben, of her parents, of Stanley, I've known Judy, or Judy's known me, since I was 11. I guess she was about 15 at the time, when they moved to Los Angeles, where in Boyle Heights, Reuben and she and Stanley lived with their parents. I'd like to share something. She was not only a friend, but she also became a stepsister, a sister. And we were friends. We would joke together. We'd spend time together with her and Jonas on so many occasions, visiting, talking on the telephone, reviewing the latest stories about Reuben and Hannah and their children and their grandchildren overseas in Israel and Jerusalem. And as Reuben said, the latest news about every facet of what's happening in Israel, the Jewish community here, and elsewhere. My son Reuben said something this morning, I guess after he saw a short email from me during the night, that I'd like to share a part of. He asked me to share this with Reuben and Hannah, the girls, their girls, and with Michael and Kira and their children, and Seth and Linda and their children, and Eve and her children, and family and friends. He writes, I'm very saddened to learn of the passing of my Aunt Judy, Aleha Shalom. She was one of the most caring and happy to see me people I grew up with. For several years, she participated in carpooling me, Seth, and others from the valley to the city to high school, the Eula High School. God bless her soul the way she put up with my shenanigans in the back seat of her car while she tried to navigate in her car that was not so new over Coldwater Canyon in stop-and-go traffic. That must have been terribly frustrating and certainly very tiring, not to mention boring. I recall her reprimanding me several times, and I loved her for it, especially because I deserved it so much more than she ended up giving it to me. In addition to Reuben and Hannah and their children and grandchildren, and Seth and Michael and their children, and others whom I've mentioned, she was also dear and close to Jonas's daughter Via and her husband Irving, and to his wife after Via passed away, Linda, and attentive to every one of them in every manner. And to Raphael and his children, and his wife Lori, also close. Lori and she were teachers together at one time, and I think she may have even introduced them. She was close to all of them and to their families, to Kira's parents, and so many others. Reuben writes, my Reuben, they were all a very integral part of my childhood, and I'm a better man as a result of it. She was an angel sent together with Jonas from heaven to care for her boys, Michael and Seth. They were first for Seth for a short time, even a couple of weeks in our home, but only temporarily, as Judy soon gave them both a more dedicated and warm home and hearth and hospitality and full-time love and attention and caring. He writes, I don't know the way of God, but it seems at least usually coincidental that we have 3 boys in Israel who left this world without parents waiting in the next world to greet them. And perhaps it was time for Judy to do her special work with another set of orphans in Shamayim. Judy did wonderful work in this world. And I have no doubt there's a seat next to the Kisei HaKavod that's no longer vacant. She had that ticket front row and center. I send my love to the entire bereaving family, of which I also consider myself a longtime member. I send this on behalf also of my wife Renee and our children, Gabriella, Jordana, and Judah. How many years are enough? For Judy, they were not enough. And for us who loved her, they were not enough. I'm not comfortable with this answer, but the answer that was given to Job when his family was taken away, in a way was, would you rather not have had those years and wonderful moments spent together all that time instead? And of course the answer is, we're thankful for all of them. It's said that death, in a way, is something like a night between 2 days. We don't have a satisfactory answer. And so our tradition teaches us that when we say Kaddish, we don't speak of death, but we speak of life, and a commitment to live it to the fullest and to do the best with what we have to make out of it. And that has been Judy's legacy, and for that we will always love her and remember her.
We can ask everybody to rise again. We're going to recite another psalm on page 590. This is Psalm 23. Page 590 in the Art Scroll Black Siddur. Mizmor LeDavid, Adonai Roi Lo Echsor, Binos Deshe Yarbitzeini, Amei Menuchos Yinahaleni, Nafshi Yeshovev, Yancheni V'Magli Tzedek Laman Shemo, Gam Ki Eilech Bigei Talmoves, Lo Ira Ro Ki Ato Imodi, Shiv Decho Mishantecho, Heim Lo Yinachamuni, Tarok Lefonai Shulchan, Neged Tzoreroi, Dishanta Vashem Roshi Kosi Revoyo, Ach Tov V'Chesed Yedufuni Kol Yemei Chayoi, Tishavti B'Veis Adonai L'Orech Yomim. A Psalm of David. Hashem is my shepherd, I shall not lack. In lush meadows he lays me down. Besides tranquil waters he leads me. He restores my soul, he leads me on the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Though I walk in the valley overshadowed by death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in full view of my tormentors. You anointed my head with oil, my cup overflows. May only goodness and kindness pursue me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Hashem for long days. I'm going to recite the Kelmoli Rachamim. It's on page 144. Kelmoli Rachamim, Shochein Bameromim, Hamsei Menucha Nechona, Al Kanfei Ashchina, V'mahalois kedoshim utaharim, kezohar harakia mazhirim, es nishmas Yehudis chaya bas Eliezer, sheholachol yolamo. Bavor Hashem mishpachto, nos nitzadok aviad has koras nishmasa, Began Eden Temenu Chosa, Hachen Baal Harachamim, Yastireha V'Seiser Kinofov L'Olamim, Vitzroi B'Tzrachim Es Nishmosa, Adonai Hu Nachalosa, V'Sanuach V'Shalom Al Mishkava, V'Nomar Amen. Now concludes the service here at Shul.